with this one. They don't know how to regulate themselves, their feelings, their emotions. So next, goal-directed persistence. It is the capacity to have a goal, to follow through to completion of the goal, and not be put off or distracted by competing interests. So, to those who were able to respond with the questionnaire I have sent yesterday or last night, I have seen a lot of concerns regarding focus, distraction. So later I will discuss further on how you can improve the span of attention and focus of your learners. Next, there, sustained attention, the capacity to keep paying attention to a situation or task in spite of distractibility, fatigue, or boredom. This one, favorite of the people who responded, organization, the ability to impose order on work, play, and storage spaces. So a lot of learners, not just the young people, but also us adults, are having difficulty with organization. So later I'll give some tips and strategies. Let's have working memory, the capacity to hold information in mind for the purpose of completing a task. Next, planning or prioritization, the ability to manage current and future-oriented task demands. Time management, on the other hand, is the capacity to estimate how much time one has, how to allocate it, and how to stay within time limits or deadlines. Okay, and last is metacognition, the ability to stand back and take a bird's eye view of yourself in a situation to observe how you problem solve. It also includes self-monitoring and self-evaluative skills. So there you have it, that 11 executive functioning skills. Okay, so you were able to respond with the questionnaire. So we have the results. The question is, now what? What are we going to do with the results? So, okay. To those who were able to respond with the questionnaire, um, I know you have a child in your mind that are having difficulty with the different skills that I have mentioned earlier. But always remember that we shouldn't be stuck at this. We may not fix them, but we can cope with their presence. So after assessing your child or student, focusing on their not strong skills, I have mentioned this earlier, there is a need for us to establish a routine and know some strategies that can enhance their skills. And with that, I will present to you some of the strategies that you can use. I think I have 10. Okay, first one. Step one is to know what needs to be done. So there are three parts of executive functions. You have the goal, the plan, and to self-regulate. So whenever you're doing something or whenever a child is doing something, or they need to do something, you have to ask the child what exactly needs to be done. The child should know himself or herself what needs to be done. He should be aware of what needs to be done. Um, he should understand what is expected of him to do. And you need to ask them, okay, what needs to be done? And that is the goal. Now, let's make a plan to get the goal. And then, self-regulate. Self-regulate your behavior in order to carry out the plan and then to accomplish your goal. So that is step one. Step 2, move it with motivation. Motivation is imagining the emotion of the future. So you can say, imagine how will you feel when they're asked to do a paragraph. Writing a paragraph is done. Okay? So a lack of motivation is often the result of feeling overwhelmed by tasks before us and failing to get the full perspective. So teaching them motivational skills means helping students to see they have the power to do it themselves and then feel good about their accomplishments. Okay, so you have to motivate them. You have to help the students. You could have a reward for them. Maybe you can say, if you were able to finish this, okay, you will have additional 30 minutes of using your gadgets or additional time for using the Netflix. Okay, so it doesn't have to be, the reward doesn't have to be material things. It could be additional time, or you can give allowance or something like that. Something that is within the interest of your learner, of your child. Okay, next. Step 3 is to prepare the environment. So you have to create static organizational structure. That means that you have to structure the environment in a way that it is task oriented. Okay, you have to make sure that there is no distraction around. Okay, as the saying goes, out of sight, out of mind. So if they cannot see those things that can distract them, then they will not think about it. Okay, so just like right now in this trying time, I know it's really hard for us to motivate, encourage our students, our children to attend classes, to do their works because they feel comfortable at home. Okay? But one thing that you could do is ask them not to do their online classes not inside their room. Why? Because they can see their bed, they can see their stuff. Okay? I think it's much better in if you will ask them to set up in another place in your house. Like maybe dining room, if you have a study room, then there. Okay, a place that they're not very much comfortable in a way that they will feel sleepy, they will feel boredom, something like that. Okay, you could also remove some of the posters around, some of the decorations, because it will distract them. It says there, establish a consistent workspace away from known distractors. Okay, like TV, like okay, like TV, like PSP, their gadgets. So you can remove them for now. And then maybe you can say, okay, if you're able to finish this goal, and then you can have this. Something like that could be the reward. So you have to prepare the environment. Next, create a consistent schedule for approaching all tasks. So consistent schedule. Um, Emphasis on the consistent word. Okay. It is really important for a learner, for a student, to have a schedule that they should follow. For example, 6 a.m. they have to get up. 6:10 eat breakfast. 6:30, 6:20 take a bath, shower. You have to list them down. You have to chunk the tasks that they have to do. And you have to make sure that they follow the schedule, the time allotted. Okay? And you have to be consistent with the schedule. Because once that you will let them not to strictly follow the schedule, they will just be complacent. Oh, I can do that in just 5 minutes, and then you lost them already. And then they will just rush themselves to go to bed, to do work or something. So you have to make sure that the schedule is consistently and strictly followed. Okay? Next, create a consistent break schedule. So, now we have online classes. They've been exposed to the laptop, the technology for about 4 to 6 hours. So another 2 hours for them to do their homework is a big deal. So you have to make sure that you include breaks. Okay? Frequent breaks, frequent and short breaks. Like a minute. A minute is fine. Just to ask them to stand, to go around, and then they can sit back and do work. That's already considered as a break. That's a solid break, as they say. Okay, so everyone needs a break then. It's not really more of the work, but you also have to include breaks. It's really important, especially the exposure to the gadgets right now. A lot of news are saying that, of course, there are disadvantages of having online learning. Um, there are a lot of people going to the eye clinic because students are not having the 20/20 vision already with a young age. So you have to make sure they have breaks in between. Okay. Next, I mentioned this a while ago. Step 4 is to chunk it, time it. So you have to break down the task into manageable parts and then predicting time allotment. So I will show you later an example of a log or a planner with this. So you can use graphic organizer, outlines, you can make a checklist of the chunks as a tracker towards accomplishment. So especially those who students or children that are visual learners, they have to see it first so they will be able to remember that I have to do this. I have to make sure that I will do this. I have to okay. So break down into smaller parts. It should be realistic parts that you think it's possible to happen, possible to do and to accomplish. Okay. I will explain this further later with the example. Step 5, visually structure it. So daily outline, Gantt charts. So these are available online, Gantt charts. Or you can also use Microsoft Excel, Google Sheet, Google Docs. I think they also have them. You have to export. So visual outlines. Next, step 6, prioritize and plan it daily. So what we didn't do yesterday causes most of the trouble today. That's why, just like my mom, whenever I have to do something, you have to do it now. You can't say, I can do this tomorrow. Tomorrow again. Tomorrow never ends. Okay? And tomorrow never comes. So you have to do it today. Because if you will not do it today, then it will cause a lot of trouble the next day. So prioritizing, you have to ask your learner, your student, your child to decide what is the priority to do, what is the subject, or what is the task that you have to do first. Is this in high priority? Is it in the middle or low? Okay, so how do we decide? So we have to make sure that you consider student values, the value of assignment, okay, value teacher holds to the assignment, then there. So there's a scenario that I have read regarding this, that there's a student, and this student said, I didn't do homework because it was only worth 2 points. It's not worth it. So with that, as a teacher, as a parent, as a guardian, you have to explain the importance of doing their homework, regardless of the numerical value. It is really not for the point. It is really not for the grade. But doing homework is for them to assess if they understood the lesson, if they understood something. Okay? I myself, I really don't believe with the grade. Okay? Um, I don't think the skills, some skills or most of the skills are not measurable with grade. Okay? Because just like right now, we have online learning. It's really hard for us to assess students if they learn something. So you have to make sure that you will explain to the learner, to your child, that homework is being done for you to know if you understood something. Okay? So you have to plan your study time and take breaks based on your attention span. So many of us have a hard time working for more than 15 to 30 minutes. So I also have to make sure that you are still with me. Okay? So you have to find your child or your student's baseline attention span and then go with it. Okay? If you know that your child can just do 20 minutes, then just do 20 minutes. And maybe as you go on, you can increase the study time by 5 minutes, and then another 5 minutes the other session or something like that. So they will expand their attention span. Okay? So you have to redefine what it means to take a break. Okay? It is really important because some students or some of the children, they think, okay, break for me is doing or playing games and it will take 30 minutes. So you have to redefine what is really a break. Just like what I have mentioned earlier, a quick stretch and walk around the room for a minute can be a solid break. So you have to say that, okay, you can just do this type of break. Okay, you only have 2 minutes, 3 minutes for a break. Okay, you have to make sure that you're specific because a lot of students, a lot of children right now, mga pilosopo na, okay, this is my break. This is how I spend my break time. So you have to redefine and be specific. Excuse. Next is hunt and gather it. So if a task involves a lot of things needed, so you have to ask them, what do you need? Where will you get the materials? How long will it take to gather them? You need to make arrangements for the transportation, delivery, who will attend to you, who will talk to you. So that is really important. So time gathering materials or time gathering the needed equipments is to be included in homework time. Why? Because it takes time. Okay? So I will show you later an example of a log that you have to include gathering of materials. So you also have to teach students or children to be their own time cops. COP stands for chill zone, obligated zone, and productive zone. So chill zone, time to relax, rejuvenate, rest. Obligated zone, there, school appointment, errands, morning bedtime routine, and productive zone is to produce something from your time spent. So it is really important that you make sure that your child is being productive. It's not just spending time. It should be the time spent. There's a result from that, and that is being productive. Okay. Step 8, take perspective. Okay, so observe responsibilities and accomplishment from someone else's point of view. Make sure that your child or your student and you, your perceptions are on the same page. Okay, so ask for their insights, ask for their opinions, their thoughts, their feelings on something. And please avoid assuming. Do not assume that, okay, let's say they have to do a mosaic. Do not assume that they can just finish it in 30 minutes. So you have to ask them, okay, how much time do you need? You have to take their perspective. You have to take their point of view on things. Okay? And then there, communicate about it. So we grade students for writing, but we can expand on what we write from discussions. So you directly explore how to communicate to get assistance. So for me, intelligence is demonstrated when you ask for help. Because some students, they are hesitant to ask questions. They hesitant to ask help because they think if you ask for help, or you ask questions, they're not smart. Okay, so you have to make sure that intelligence is not measured through those things. Okay. Um, you also have to know what type of students ask for help. How does the student ask for help? Okay. How does the student ask for help? I have done this before during a face-to-face session when I was in an international school. A student is really hesitant to ask for help because he thinks that if he asks for help, his classmates will laugh at him, or they will think low of him. Okay. And at that time, he was just 14, 13 years old. So I told him, let's just have a private signal. Okay. So if you use, or if you raise your hand using your left hand, that means you understood everything. You don't need my help. But if you raise your right hand, then you need my help. And I have to make sure that I just don't go directly to him. I have to make sure that I also ask his classmates on the topic or the lesson that we are discussing. So he won't feel low of himself, and he will feel good about, okay, I asked for help, but then no one noticed. Something like that. So you have to discuss that people feel good about being asked to provide assistance, and encourage strategies and practice to ask for help. So that's one way to ask for help. You can make a private signal. Okay. Um, Next, I think this is the last. Persist and reward, building grit and tenacity. So grit is the ability to keep working towards a goal, or toward the goal, overcoming challenges and sticking with the goal even when it's hard. Having grit means having the determination, the passion for long-term goals. So on the other hand, tenacity means having, again, the passion, the drive, the determination to not give up despite difficulties. So more of determination, not giving up. Okay, you have to build that, establish that with your students, with your children. Okay, you have to make sure that whatever comes, no one can stop them from learning. Learning to be comfortable with discomfort. It is our job. So let me rephrase that. Our job is not to teach students, the children, to be comfortable, but instead how to cope with discomforts. Ayan, quotable quote. So our job is not to teach students or children to be comfortable, but instead how to cope with discomforts. Just like what we're having right now. Because of the pandemic, we can conduct a face-to-face seminar, but here we are, hashtag new normal. So we have to teach the children that you have to embrace change. You have to adapt, you have to adjust, and cope with the difficulties that we face in life. So, see, from assignment, from doing homeworks, which is a great skill, going to a lifelong skill to adjust to cope with change, to be comfortable with discomforts. Okay, so those are the different strategies um, for us to be able to enhance executive functioning skills and other skills as well. Okay, let me now go to the different tools and apps available that could possibly help EF skills be enhanced or improved. Okay, number one, planner. So, can you see my screen? So I have this log, this planner rather. So you can do this as well. Name of your children or name of your child rather, your student, and then subject activities to do, subject activities, amount of time allotted, and then the status. Okay? So for example here, the subject is math. What needs to be done? That's the goal. Finish the test. You can be more specific than this, okay? What type of test? And then amount of time allotted. And then you can mention here status, done, almost done, just started. Okay? So if you don't want to do that, we also have different apps here. My homework app, I think this is downloadable, Google Play Store. And then this one, online website, mystudylife.com. I think they're free. So whatever suits you, you can just write them on a piece of paper, or you want to do, if you're techie, then you can use Microsoft Planner and this other application or tools. So these are really helpful. Okay, and also the planner that we usually have, ito yung mga, these are the things that we buy before New Year. Just like we're collecting, some of us collecting stars, Starbucks and Coffee Bean. So make use of the planner. It's really important. Okay, so there. Next, a log or to-do list. So this one somehow the same with the planner. It's just that this is more specific. So each subject, you have the column, then due date, very important. Then inside the activity under the subject, you can have the different status. Could be color coded, not started black, in progress blue, completed green, red late. Okay, so they can see, oh, I have accomplished this, all these things in this subject. So they will feel successful. They will feel confident enough that they were able to finish these things. Okay. Another thing that you could use, Google Calendar, again, Microsoft Planner, Google Docs. So this is made from Google Docs or Microsoft Word. It's fine. Or if you want, you can use Canva. There are templates available there, and then you can redecorate whichever suits your student, your child. So you can try it. Again, canva.com. This is not paid advertisement po. Okay. Next, sticky notes. So I think this is very much effective to some of the students, some of the learners. They make use of post-it notes. They can stick You can use color coding. For example, yellow for you have to read this, pink for the page of the book that they have to study, or there's a portion, you can write the line 2, paragraph 3, line 2, or sentence 2 there. So they can remember, okay, or they can go back to the important details written on a module or a book. So sticky notes. This could help their working memory, their organization as well. Because if they will make an outline, then they have used sticky notes, they can just go back to the sticky notes. Oh, on this page I have this, so I can write this down. Okay. Another is highlighters. With this one, I have used this before. I also made color coding. For example, in a story, you can highlight, for example, green for the topic sentence, or green for the characters. And then this one, yellow for the conflict, lavender for the characters, and then for the plot, pink. So you can use highlighter. So it's easier for them to read and to go back to, because they have this emphasis, okay, using the highlighters. So again, this could help their working memory. This one, time timer, one of my favorites. Um, this is available online. You can order them online, but in Amazon, but this is also available there, the website. So what is this for? So it is very important that the student or the learner is aware how much time is he or she taking doing the task. Okay. So maybe you can ask them, I have included in the log earlier that there is an allotted time column. Okay. Maybe you can ask them, okay, you only have 30 minutes. So they will see here that the clock is moving. So they can be aware that, oh, I have only 15 minutes. I have only 5 minutes. I have to make sure that I finish this on time. So this will increase their productivity and efficiency. Okay. Also, if you don't have a time timer, you can use your the typical clock. What you can do with it is you can put magnets here on the side. For example, um, at 1 o'clock, they will have to start doing the task. So 1 o'clock, you will put the green magnet on top here, on top of 12. And then red, you have to make sure their allotted time is only 10 minutes. So put the red magnet here in 2, okay? And then a yellow or orange magnet here in 1. The orange means the break. So after 5 minutes, they will have a few seconds, a few minutes of break, and then proceed with the activity or the task that they have to accomplish. So, or if you don't want to use your clock since it's hanging on your wall, you can also use your stopwatch on your phones or devices, and there, time timer. It's really important for them to be aware of the time. Okay, that's why time is gold. So they have to be what do you call this? They have to be this will avoid them to procrastinate. Okay, so they have a given time and they have to finish them on time. So with using your log, you can also write there allotted time. Another column could be actual time taken. So if you have given them 30 minutes and they have finished it in 20 minutes, then you can put it 20 minutes. So next time you can just give 20 minutes for the allotted time, and then let's see if they can still finish the task. Okay? Again, it will increase productivity. Next tool is this 30/30 schedule app. So this is available in Play Store, Google Play Store. There. So you can see there's a pause, you can relax and then go back to work. So it will show a notification whenever a cycle is running. You can estimate or allot time, for example, 30 minutes to work, and then for working, and then another 30 minutes to relax. So you can customize it. And again, this is free in Google Play Store. Another is this one. This one is an example of a routine. So I personally used this before. So what are your expectations in class for the teachers there? Expectations in class. Well, these are not applicable right now, but you can just edit. So arrives on time, there, and then here are the activities. So short stories, spelling, math game, and then the allotted time. Okay, you can give them points if they were able to do what is expected from them. So you can give them, if you have 10 expectations, then 1 point for each. And then maybe from there, if they will be able to consistently do what is expected from them for a week, then give them a reward. Okay. Next. Excuse me. So I will be sharing with you a PDF file containing this different modifications and teaching strategies for each executive skill. Okay, I have mentioned earlier that there is a lot of parts and pieces of executive functions, so I can't discuss everything this afternoon. Okay, so there. Don't worry, I'll be sending this to GoGuru, so you will be able to go through them. And aside from that, we also have their questions to promote EF skills. So for example, emotional control. If what are some things kids could do when that happens? So you have to make them realize what they will do if this happens, and then what should you do? So you can add social stories or put them in a scenario before they will experience or they will be in that situation. You can also do that. Another is this. Sometimes it's hard to keep working on your homework until it's done. So what do you think are some ways you could motivate yourself to keep working? So taking their perspective, putting them in the shoes, and letting them decide. That's another important thing for the students or for the children. Giving them the authority sa kanilang learning, with their own learning. Okay? Asking them, what do you think are some ways that could help you be motivated doing this task? Okay? At least they're self-aware. So there are a lot of good questions. How you could find the answer? So there. Statements and questions to improve or to promote executive function skills. So these are really helpful, and I'm giving this later, a copy of this later. So aside from tools, there are different games that will improve their EF skills. Blurt. So this is a board game, and they have to figure out the word itself. Okay. So it It develops different skill. Scrabble, very known game for planning and organization. So they use random letters to build words. They keep score as they go. So as an extension, they have to look up definition to the words they create and use the word in a sentence before points are scored. So you can customize whatever you want to improve. So you're not just improving their planning and organization, but also enriching their vocabulary. Dictionary, um, distraction, the 5-second rule. Okay, this could also be played without these materials. You can just give them categories, and then they will have to give examples for each. So it will give them more ideas. It will practice their thinking. Freeze dance game. This is very popular. It's like stop dance. Okay. So this one, self-control and attention. See, these games are already existing, but we are not aware that, oh, this could improve self-control. This could improve focus. This could improve the attention. So another is Jenga or Uno stacks. So self-control, flexibility, planning. See, so they pull blocks from a tower, and then they have to plan which should be the next one. So there. I'm not asking you to buy these toys, okay, for these games. I'm just presenting to you that these games, they help improve executive functioning skills. Another one could be chess for planning. What else? Uno. So this game, very popular. They can play this online if they don't have the Uno cards. Monopoly there. Um, what else? So there are a lot of games that could help them improve their executive function skills. So these are just some. Okay, I think we're almost there. So question now is how executive function skills related to academic success and independence. So enhanced executive functioning skills help students be more independent by boosting their confidence. It's like process to product, okay? The process is this strategies, these tools, these games that you will use, and then the product will be an enhanced set of skills. So these are not just again for academic works, but also these are lifelong skills. Okay? Even us adults, we need to keep enhancing our skills. And I tell you, it really helps a lot. So for students, that confidence leads them to try more. Okay, parang they are boosted to try a lot of things because they have felt the feeling of success. They have felt accomplished. So they will keep doing things for them to feel that again. Okay? So just make sure that you will guide them. And trying more, doing this task more will help them succeed. Okay? And then, so these are some benefits. So for school achievement, so there, I will not go through each benefit. So positive behavior, a lot of skills will be developed. Teamwork, leadership, decision making, working towards goals, critical thinking, adaptability, being aware of our own emotions, and being aware of themselves. Okay. let me oh, it's 1 hour already. For this one, for society, the outcome is a better educated population capable of meeting the challenges of the 21st century, just like what we have now, the pandemic. So for this one, um, for society, the outcome is more stable communities, reduction in crime, greater social cohesion. So see, from just doing assignment, from just doing or improving EF skills, you will be able to reduce crime. See, another is for the good health for society. The outcome is a healthier population, a more productive workforce, and reduced healthcare costs. Because you have to be more conscious of your safety for your children, for your students, to make more positive choices about nutrition and exercise, and to resist pressure to take risks like taking drugs, to have unprotected sex. So EF skills will help uh, people on those things. And then successful work for society, the outcome is greater prosperity due to an innovative rather, competent and flexible workforce. Because you're prepared to adjust to changing circumstances, to the discomforts. Okay, so there you have it. Executive functioning skills, the key to academic success, independence, how to plan, focus, remember, and juggle multiple tasks successfully.
Thank
So,
you, Miss Sheena.
sorry, 1 hour, sabi ko.
Yes. I think Tita Gigi is actually just trying to get back into the meeting. She lost her signal. But to our guests, we are encouraging you to type in your questions, or if you want to ask it live, you also may do that. You can unmute and ask us your question. But Teacher Sheena, while they are trying to think of a question, maybe, hi, Coach. You have a question to ask now. I guess I'd like to share my key takeaway, while they are thinking of a question. One, I think the tools that you gave are something that is available to all of us. As parents, as teachers, it's something that we can avail of. And I think it's a way, more than anything, it is us giving our children or our students, or actually it's empowering them. What we have to do is to empower them so that they can become better students, better citizens in the future. Right? And one of the things that actually struck me was what you said. Our job is not to teach students or our children to be comfortable, rather to deal with discomfort. I have seen it so many times, especially now in virtual learning. I've seen parents. I also have a child who is doing online learning right now. But once the parents see the child struggling, they're there. I see the parent come into the camera, opening
Yes.
the book, answering it herself, asking the questions directly to the teacher rather than letting the child ask the questions. And I guess it's also because it's hard. It's also a reality. It's hard for the parents to be the teachers at home right now.
Yes.
And thank you so much for sharing the tools. I think it's something that we can really take note of and use now that we are all in this situation, whether we are teaching online or we are doing both.
Yeah.
Okay, we are teaching our children and then teaching our own students, right? So here from Coach, hi Coach Leo, games are really great tools for teaching skills and concepts. That's right. Right, Coach? Because one of the things I think that the kids miss now is PE. That's what I hear from my kids. They complain that we only have once a week, but when we miss a class and it's PE day, it's like it's my fault as the teacher that they don't have PE, right?
Yeah.
And these are really really very important. I think we have a couple of parents here or teachers. So do you have any questions that you might want to ask Teacher Sheena? Okay, how about Miss Jonah? Any questions?
I think we sent it to you in the chat. No,
Yeah, okay. Right.
I'm thinking like other rewards besides TV or Netflix that I
Right.
can give my children. Because it's always,
Mm.
syempre, gadget.
Right.
It actually, it really depends on their interest, because you might give them something rewarding for you but not rewarding for them. So it's really important to ask, oh, what do you want? So that's why we have to always communicate with the learners. But if you're a teacher, maybe you could give, okay, extra credit, something like that, or um, a free time, or maybe if you were able to accomplish this whole bunch of activities, you'll have a free day of no homework, something like that. I think they will greatly appreciate those rewards. If you have any other suggestions from our participants, feel free to share.
Right. I have a question. I just thought of it
Sure po.
now. Ayan, nakalimutan ko. Wait. um, what was my question? I forgot. Okay, iba muna.
Yes po, Sir Leo. Right po. Rewards can be a day with mommy baking cookies. Yes po. Parang quality time with the parents, and maybe with their friends online could be rewarding to these kids.
Right. Right. That's true.
Yeah.
Baking day with mommy if mommy is not tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, now I remember my question. Thank you. So we're talking about executive functioning skills. Just to clarify, is this something that needs to be confirmed with, tests, right? Do children need to be assessed for them to know that they are children having difficulty in executive functioning, or is this a skill that all children can improve on whether or not you are diagnosed with having difficulty in executive functioning?
Good question. Could be both, but more of it could be for all of the children. I have showed a graph. I was not able to discuss it earlier.
Mm.
Um, at a young age, they should be able to increase some of the skills. So it's part of the milestones.
So is there a red flag? I mean, parents and red flags. Like,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
we hear a red flag, that's something that makes us panic. But if there is no red flag, it's not really the word. We don't really pay attention to it. So are there red flags that we need to be cautious of? Like, be mindful when we are watching our children to know that this is something that they need help on?
Maybe one of the red flags could be if they are having a lot of works, like being bombarded with bunch of works already that they don't know which one to do first, or they have long due works to be done. So that is already a red flag. Another could be some parents I have encountered before, they're already panicking whenever they see their child having an very dirty bag, unorganized bag. From that small thing, they're very um, conscious. Is there something wrong with my child? But those little things, we have to make sure that um, we know them and we see them. Because sometimes um, we don't see these things, these small things. We only notice these things whenever it's already bad or it's
Right.
worse, right? So from there, from organizing notes, you have to make sure that you have to make sure that they have complete notes, maybe not complete, but at least they are taking down notes,
Right.
or having all the things needed, or not misplacing the important stuffs in school.
Right.
So
There is actually a question here that I think is connected to that from Paul. Are EF skills taught? Does it come naturally or is it normally associated with a condition?
EF skills. we already have this, all of us. It's just that we have to enhance them, we have to improve them. So these are just really noticeable, very evident to those kids who are diagnosed, like ADHD, ASD. Very, you can just you can notice these things. But we all have these skills. We just have to enhance and improve this.
And
So
right. There's also another question from Coach Leo Molina. Can or differentiation, is it an important strategy in executive functioning? Ah,
um it's like um executive functioning skills is really individualized. So just like
okay.
differentiation, you have to make it should fit, it should be appropriate to the learners. So it is learner centered. So yes, differentiation, differentiated type of teaching or strategy is, yes, important in executive function.
I see.
And just to share with that, I have used that before with my students. Well, face to face,
Please.
we have that um, different strategy for this set of kids because they are, this activity is within their interest, and then another set of activity within their interest as well. So it really helps because they are motivated and they're getting productive, and then they want to do more. So they could enhance not just in their executive functioning skills, but their other skills as well, like leadership, the teamwork, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So
Okay. Thank you for that, Teacher Sheena. Are there any other questions you might want to ask? No, if not, Teacher Sheena, you promised you are going to give us a copy of the PDF,
yeah,
something that the parents and teachers can use. So maybe Miss Jonah and Goguro can send it to our participants. Is that possible? Yes, for them to have a copy. I think it's important to have that log and that schedule. And that 30-30 schedule is very interesting. Maybe something I can try to practice. Try.
yeah. Yeah,
Right.
there's also an app for time timers. I actually have it
Ah, there's an app.
on my, yeah, time timer, an app for your phone. So I have to search a lot of things that is really convenient to all
Right.
of us right now. Cause yeah,
Okay, so maybe we can also download
yeah.
that app. Okay. So if there is nothing else, no more questions. Thank you, Miss Sheena, for
Thank
somebody's
you.
raising her hand.
Yeah, I think
Rochelle.
so
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Hey.
And Jennifer, yes. Rochelle
Yeah,
first.
can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
you.
yeah. My question is, I have a 4-year-old. So can you give me like a specific example where we can um teach our 4-year old that particular skill?
Okay. Thank you po for the question. With that, I will be sharing with you a website full of activities depending on age. It's from understood.org. So there's a bracket from 0 to 2, 2 to 4. There's a long list of activities that you could use. I think some of the activities are already being used. It's just that we are not aware that this activity is for improving the EF skills. So for 4 years old, um, how to teach. Okay, I could give a piece or two. One could be, for example, when they wake up, you can tell them what's gonna happen for the rest of the day. So it's just like presenting the schedule to them. Okay, this morning you will do this and then do this and then let's have a break and then we can do this. So as simple as that, it's already helping them improve their executive functioning skill. Another is aside from the presented schedule, giving them situations that um, if this happens and this will not push through, we have this plan B. Okay, so they will not be too rigid that, okay, mommy, you said that we're gonna bake or we're gonna eat this, and then this did not happen. So your plan B should be presented. So flexibility is there. You're also teaching flexibility. So those simple activities or situations could enhance and improve executive functioning skill. And that is teaching EF skill. So we're just not aware that, oh, I'm already teaching it. I think all of us are already teaching. It's just that we're not aware that it's executive functioning skill.
Okay, thank you for that, Michelle. There's another one raising her hand, Jennifer. Hi, are you there? No? Okay. Yeah, because her hand is raised, so I thought she might have a question. Start with playing games. Okay. So I'm just looking at the chat box if there are any more questions. Okay. So I think that's it. If there's no other questions, we will be expecting the file that you will share, Ms. Sheena, and I'm sure it's something that our participants will also appreciate. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, for joining us tonight. I know it's a Friday night. You could be doing something else, but thanks for dropping by and joining GoGuro in our coffee conversations. Okay,
I'll just give you
please do
the
not forget to, I almost forgot, do not forget to respond to our feedback form. It's right there. The link is there. The feedback form actually helps us plan out the next coffee conversations topic. So please fill it out before you leave the meeting. Thank you again so much for joining us tonight.
maybe Coach Leo
Have a
will be
good
our next speaker.
Coach PE Athletics.
Let me know lang.
Thank you, Machina.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Go
you so
Guru, for
much.
inviting me.
Yes, sorry, teacher Gigi. Tita Gigi is not here anymore to say goodbye to you. She disappeared because she is in Lipa, and I think it is raining hard there, so probably signal is not so
Yeah.
good. Yes.
Thank
Okay,
you
thank
so
you,
much.
everybody. Thank you, Miss
Have
Sheena.
a great night.
Have a good weekend.
Thank
Coach,
you.
nighttime, daytime.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Coach. Because Coach is in Denmark, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Coach. Coach Athletic,
Sure.
we'll
Just
send you
let
a
me know.
message. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Sige po.
Wala si tita, no? Calendar. Calendar is needed for planning. Miss Jonah, you also froze, or is it me?
No, andito
Signal
ako.
is
Saan
not
yun, ah?
good. Wait.
Oh, my signal.
How will I change my view? Yes? Parang, or baka ako yon. Miss Erica, are you there?
Hi.
The timer is very interesting. So if it's an app, we're just gonna download it. Thank you for answering the feedback form.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mea.
Thank you, Miss Belen.
Thank you. So she said it's an app, no?
Hindi.
Even for myself.
Inano ko,
30 minutes, 30 minutes relax, diba? I like 30-30 rule.
no, I was thinking gamitin
Ano ba
natin
yun?
sa ano,